Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As always, it is so good to have you here with me for another video. In today's video, I'm sort of adding an extension to my pregnancy based content. I just shared another video about my positive labor and delivery experience. If you haven't already, go ahead and check that video out. I'll have it listed up here in the cards. But in this video in particular, I wanted to share 8 products that got me through my pregnancy. Pregnancy was a lovely experience right up until the second trimester, or I should say the end of the second trimester. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not one of those girls that loved being pregnant towards the end. It got pretty miserable for me, and for those of you that are kind of going through it, based on any of the more rough symptoms of the third trimester in particular, I have a couple of products here that helped me get through it that I think could help you get through it too. If you're interested in finding out what these items are that helped relieve my heartburn, my anxiety around my body and the stretching that was taking place, the swelling, something called the Pup Rash, which I'll get into a little bit later, keep watching this video. So the first thing I'm going to talk about are 2 products. I'm just going to sort of pair them together. When I was getting into my second trimester, I wanted to be really on top of taking care of my stretched skin. My body was obviously starting to visually change more into that second trimester. I was starting to get bigger. I was starting to grow. And y'all, I'm a vain person. I'm not about to sit up here and lie. I care a lot about appearance. And I just wanted to take good care of my skin and my body as much as possible. So I was using 2 products in particular on my belly and my arms and my booty, parts of my body that were really stretching and growing to help harbor my little baby. The first product is freaking Shea Butter. It looks like this. This one I actually purchased from Amazon. I was using one that I was getting from my local beauty supply for a while, but this one I actually liked better than the one from my beauty supply. It is by this brand called Pure Naturals. Shea Butter is incredible. There are so many wonderful things that Shea Butter does for the skin. It's a natural SPF. It's super moisturizing. It's gonna have you glowing better than any skin oil or anything like that. But specifically, I was loving this to moisturize my skin to either prevent stretch marks, which still got stretch marks, it didn't matter, but also to help lighten and prevent my stretch marks from darkening, depending on your skin tone, really. I'm at a stage now where my stretch marks are fading a little bit, but they're also like kind of darkening in some areas. I got stretch marks on my skin well before pregnancy, and I have always used this product to help fade them and lessen the look of my stretch marks. This I felt really helped my stretched skin and helped give my skin a better looking appearance. Then I would layer on my sweet almond oil. I hope you guys can see this. But this is a really lightweight oil. It's one of my holy grail products, and I just really love this. Before I went in with the Shea Butter and things started to get really intense, I was using regular Jergens lotion along with this almond oil just for some added moisture, and I really felt like it did the trick. Piggybacking off of these 2 products, something else that I really want to share with you guys is just like when I moisturize my hair and I'm adding oils and moisturizing products, I wear a silk or satin bonnet. When I added my moisturizing products to my body, I also made sure to wear silk and satin nighties. This, I feel, really helped my body absorbing the oils that I was wearing rather than the fabrics that I was wearing on my body absorbing those oils. Really, it's the same exact principle as when I apply products to my hair, oil-based products to my hair. You want to wear fabrics on the skin that aren't going to soak up all those products, because then it just kind of eliminates the whole purpose. So I recommend a good, cute silk nightie. Wasn't really cute on me when I was 8 to 9 months pregnant, but it wasn't really about the look of it. It was more about the effectiveness of those products going on my skin. I wanted them to work, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't wearing anything that was going to just defeat the purpose altogether. Okay, another symptom that I experienced in the 3rd trimester that made me pretty miserable at night is heartburn. I was just suffering, had a lot of heartburn, and it just didn't matter how hydrated I was or really even what I ate. Anything gave me heartburn. I was just eating Tums. Tums were my lifesaver, and I just was eating these like candy, and they really seemed to help, particularly around bedtime when it seemed like my heartburn symptoms were more intense. I was eating like 4 or 5 of those right before I went to bed. So luckily my baby came out okay. I don't think that Tums are high risk. In fact, I think that that's something that's recommended by doctors for women who are experiencing heartburn in pregnancies. So Tums is the next item that I really could not live without. The next item that I'm going to mention here is going to be a pregnancy pillow. Mine, I actually still sleep with now in my postpartum period, because when you're healing from pregnancy, and if you opt for painkillers or any sort of pain meds when you're laboring, that stuff wears off eventually and your body just feels like you've been hit by a truck. So I continue to sleep with my pregnancy pillow. It's way too big for me to bust out on my screen here, so I'll just post a picture of the one that I purchased somewhere up on the screen so I don't have to pull it out of my bed. But I really found that a pregnancy pillow helped me both towards the end in my 2nd trimester when my stomach was huge and uncomfortable and I just couldn't get comfortable with sleep. Expect to lose sleep. Not just after your baby is born and just expects to have you by its side 24/7 or whenever he or she needs you, but expect to just lose sleep leading up to your birth. The 3rd trimester was rough for me when it came to sleep, and I feel that a good pregnancy pillow helped make me more comfortable and helped get me through that last leg of pregnancy so much more. And again, in my healing process. So again, I'm gonna post the pregnancy pillow that I liked, and yeah, get a pregnancy pillow. So I have a very sensitive immune system. I break out in heat rashes very easily, and I just have very sensitive skin, and my body is really, really triggered by weather and by stress. Something that I developed at the end of my pregnancy in the last month, which was honestly really miserable but very rare, is something called a Pup Rash. This is a rash specific to pregnancy and something that pregnant women develop. It is unclear what causes the pup rash. They say it's rapid weight gain. They say a lot of different things. What I mostly read was rapid weight gain, but I just think it just depends on your body too, and just how sensitive your body is to change. And mine is sensitive to change, and y'all, I was miserable. I developed this rash in kind of like crevices of my body. I got it on my inner thighs, my arms, and it was just so miserable. It was just this inconsolable rash that wouldn't go away. At first I was confused. At first I thought I caught something. Like, it was not cute. Especially since I got it on my inner thighs. I was like looking at my husband like, what's going on? Like, but it turns out I got the pup rash, and I was just searching high and low on the internet for anything that would relieve this, because on top of just being uncomfortable and being in the summertime, 8-9 months pregnant, I was just miserable due to this rash. What I found on the internet, which worked for me, was something called pine tar soap. This is by the Grandpa Company. I found this in my local Whole Foods. I still have some of the soap left in here, but y'all, went through like 3 bars of this, and it was one of the only things that would relieve my rash symptoms. It would kind of fade in and out. Initially, when I started using the soap, the rash went away completely, but then it came back, and I just continued to use the soap because it was just the only thing that was going to relieve the symptoms of that rash. I also started taking Pepsid, which helped relieve my heartburn symptoms and somehow symptoms of the rash. I don't know what it is. I think it's the famotidine ingredient. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Apparently that also helps to relieve the pup rash, and why not? It was helping to relieve my heartburn as well. So Both of these products in tandem really helped make me less miserable. It did not make my pup rash go away, but it really helped. So if any of you guys developed something like this during your pregnancy, I would recommend that you check out those products. If I ever have another kid, I'm just gonna have these products on deck when I'm going into my 3rd trimester, just because I know I'm gonna need it, and just because you never know what your body's gonna do. Pregnancy is a trip. It's very unpredictable. Next product I'm going to mention is just kind of fun. I had a lot of random cravings. I also craved things that I never craved before. It was just all surprising to me. I am an avid coffee drinker in my regular life. I drink like 2 to 3 cups of coffee every day, but abstained from coffee 100% when I was pregnant. However, I spoke to my doctor beforehand and I was like, listen, I need a little bit of caffeine because I'm dying over here. And I was just really craving matcha lattes from Dunkin' Donuts. And I treated myself to matcha lattes from Dunkin' Donuts frequently. My doctor said it was okay, so I would get a small or sometimes a medium. I would cheat and do a medium towards my 3rd trimester, probably 2 times a week. And I just really enjoyed this. This was one product that I craved a lot. I didn't have really crazy cravings. For some reason, this is something that I wanted a lot. I don't know if it was just because I couldn't have caffeine through coffee, but it was just delicious. And funny enough now, I don't really crave matcha lattes that much anymore. I think it's because now I can have my drug, I can have my coffee, and I've been having my coffee. So just something light and fun. I loved Dunkin' Donuts matcha lattes. At one point I tried a Starbucks matcha latte, but it just didn't hit the same. Y'all gotta do better at Starbucks, but it just wasn't hitting. Specifically, that Dunkin' Donuts matcha latte was amazing. So the last item I'm gonna be mentioning here, I mentioned to you guys in my previous video about my labor and delivery that I experienced a lot of swelling. Once they took me off those fluids and the epidural, my body swelled up for a healthy month. And like I've been very honest and open about here on my channel before, I've had surgeries in the past, and something that came to mind when I was swollen and miserable for that whole month was Arnica Cream. This is something that really, I think, helped bring down that swelling a little bit. Not a whole lot. It was just inevitable, honestly, with all those fluids, and my body really retains water. And I abstain from like water pills or anything that would help with water retention because I'm breastfeeding, and I just didn't want to negatively affect my child in any way when I was trying to relieve the water retention. I just let it come down on its own, and it took a month. It was miserable. I just was miserable. There was times where late in the 3rd trimester, I was just crying just from how swollen my feet were. I was miserable. And I think the only thing that made me less miserable after I gave birth was just that I had given birth and I knew that it was over, and my baby, my beautiful baby girl, was here. I got to hold her. So I wasn't really caught up in how swollen I was for literally that month after I gave birth. Afterwards, it just didn't faze me as much. Arnica Cream really helps. It's a natural product that helps bring down some of that swelling. And I do recommend this for anyone who is pregnant or is done with their pregnancy and dealing with some swelling to give this a try. Okay guys, that concludes this video. Those are my 8 products that got me through my pregnancy. I really hope that this helps anyone going through any of the symptoms that I described. These products, honestly, like I said before, if I became pregnant again, I would make sure to have all of these on deck, especially in the end of the 2nd, going into the 3rd trimester. I really feel that this helped me be a little less miserable. Comment down below if you've tried any of these or if you have any alternative products that you think helped you through your pregnancy. I'm sure it would help anyone that somehow landed on this video and is looking for a relief. I hope it helped someone. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. I have a lot of fun stuff coming out now that I'm not pregnant anymore, and I'm diving back into creating YouTube content again. I'm excited to share more with you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.